we're going to talk about something so simple
yet so complicated.
Yes, and today's topic I think is again lighthearted.
It's not that lighthearted. It's
okay.
I mean, it's not lighthearted. It's something that a lot of people have done in the past, will do in their future, and well, basically it depends on perspective. For you, maybe it's lighthearted. For me, it's not so much.
Okay, now first I would like to apologize for the background noise, but it's a very hot summer day and I don't have an AC in my room, so a fan is our only salvation.
Yeah. Well, summer days, I mean, we miss them, we all do. But then when they come, don't want them to come.
Yes, exactly. And okay, with that out of the way, today's topic is when can and can't we believe in apologies? Yeah. As we all know, apologies, especially in the YouTube world, are, or maybe I guess more common in the beauty community?
No, it's actually not just the beauty community.
Well, yeah,
apologies on social platforms, on people that are influencers.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter in which area, given beauty community, given music entertainment, given comedy entertainment. It's not something that's uncommon.
Yeah, I mean, my point of view is that because I follow the beauty community more, that's where I see the most apologies, yeah.
Because mostly nowadays in the beauty community there is like the cancel culture, which is
that's a whole another topic on its own.
Let's not get cancelled in the beginning.
Yeah, well, basically, how when you don't personally know the person on a personal level.
PPP.
Yeah, exactly. Well, how do you believe that it's a genuine apology? I mean, having so many apologies, you start noticing the background. The person, has
the
he
pattern,
the pattern, exactly. And when do you believe that it's a genuine apology, and when do you not believe?
Well, kind of it depends on the person. It depends on the situation. And me personally, I always count on my sixth sense. If I believe that this person is genuine, you can always see, accept the apology. There's also the body language, the facial expressions that a person gives out while doing, let's say, an apology video. Because mostly in the beauty community there is like the apology video.
Yeah.
While the other industries, most of them, the K-pop industry that I'm in, they only do written apologies. And then with written ones, you just have to believe.
Yeah.
While in video apologies, you can always count on, as I mentioned, the body language, how this person is feeling. Are they hiding themselves? Because what you're doing right now,
yeah,
it's like guarding yourself. It's like, okay, you are comfortable,
yeah,
but you're just guarding yourself from outside effects.
I get it, yeah.
Facial expressions are the same. Well, if you say something that you actually lied about, there will be just a tiny little smile. Like a tiny little smile.
Yeah, it's deceit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, okay, but if you're someone, let's say like me, who doesn't know the body language that well,
then how do you personally what makes you believe or makes you not don't?
Well, you know me, the person that I am. I always believe in the good of the people. So, if he apologizes, and for me personally, the situation that made him apologize isn't that bad, I will believe him. But let's say if it's something like, let's say, a crime or something like that, I wouldn't believe it as easily.
True, but it doesn't matter if it's a crime-wise situation that you're apologizing about, or a regular basic backstabbing that you did to a friend, because I do remember watching this video where there was this person apologizing but with no facial expression. There was one teardrop which was totally fake, because even I can do fake teardrops more than one whenever I want, and that was too fake.
Yeah.
And the situation was not like crime-wise, it was just offensive.
Well, yeah, but it's a, all situations have two parties.
Yeah, of course.
And you know that there's a saying that the truth is always in the middle. So
True.
if a situation involves two people, I always watch and see both
Those sides.
yeah, both sides, and after that I make up my own opinion. But still, it's on the internet, and whether you believe it or not, actually you wouldn't make that much of a difference.
It depends on the situation. It depends on the people that you're speaking out to and how they perceive your words.
I don't mean the person that is apologizing. I mean the viewer. The viewer.
Yeah,
if we're looking at from the point of view whether you believe the apology or not.
That's my point.
And as a viewer, even if you believe it or even if you don't believe it, I don't think you're going to make that big of a difference, because even if you voice out your opinion, let's say in the comment section,
it's like one voice. This is one thing that we have always been taught, that one positive voice is always
beats the negative one.
whether you can or cannot believe, an apology. Mostly, I believe it depends on you, on the person that is reading it, watching it, or just the third person.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, and if you have to make an apology, for in your opinion, what will be perceived as more genuine? Having a lot of emotion or being more
Distant?
not distant, but I don't know, just not expressing as much.
Well, I think that in an apology, if you actually mean it, there's no way that you cannot show any emotion.
Well, yeah, I'm not talking about not
Too
showing
much
it.
emotion. There's like an apology that I can believe is something in the middle.
Yeah.
Not too much emotion, not close up at all. Like something in the middle. You just have to see if the person is genuine or just doing it just because they have to do it.
Yeah.
Because nowadays most of apologies is just, most of them are just because they have to be done.
Yeah.
So they won't hurt people's feelings. This is something I've always wondered, me personally, to myself. I apologize for all the simplest things, like I just stepped on your foot, I said sorry. I might push you, I'll say sorry. I might say something that I know that might hurt you, but it will be the truth, and it will hurt you, but I'm not going to apologize about that. So, like, for simple things,
Yeah.
I apologize twice, triple.
Yeah, I'm the
over.
same. I'm the same.
But then, what is the situation that you actually have to apologize? I know in these kinds of situations that I mentioned that I say something which is true, but I don't apologize about it because I do believe in it. Well, it will hurt you. And are these kinds of the situations that you have to do an apology? Because you think other people might be hurt, or you do an apology just so you won't.
Well, I don't know if it's, let's say, you tell me or I tell you something that we know is going to hurt the other person, but it's the truth, and you will not apologize. But let's say if it's something that is totally different from the truth that I believe in, well, I don't think that you have to apologize, but it's just like we're going to have a little bit of a bickering, and we're going to get our point of view across. But I don't think that it's something that it needs an apology, because it's your truth, and the other point of view is my truth. But I think that when you're influential, when you have a lot of people that follow you, you have to apologize for basically anything that you see that your followers are offended about, because that's a lot of people. I mean, it's not just you and me, and we're going to figure it out.
I get
you
it.
have an audience.
I do understand, but then if the majority of the people are offended by who you are, I mean, if it's not something criminal, okay, let's say it's not something criminal, but then the majority of people are offended, do you really have to apologize for being your true self? Just because you have such a huge following and you're a very good and talented and well-known influencer, do you really have to apologize for being your true self?
Yeah, I get your point of view, but
I mean, if it's not something criminal, come on, if it's something criminal, yes, you have to.
Well,
it's
you
not just
cannot,
what you have to.
Yeah, you cannot apologize for the person that you are, and as we have said, I think in previous podcasts, you cannot appeal to everyone.
True.
So I guess it depends on the situation. Let's say if you go on a vacation and you see that a lot of people are not okay with that, you cannot apologize about that. I mean, you have the opportunity and the ability to go to a vacation, so why not?
And then,
but
nowadays, I'm sorry.
But nowadays, yeah, with the pandemic and everything, we have seen, I think, no, I don't think we've seen apologies for going on vacations.
No, not now. Previously, I think we have seen many, because you just have to apologize because the majority of the people that are your followers are your fans.
Yeah.
They just are mad that you went on a vacation, which is, well, not vacation in particular, but then some things that you do that are natural to you.
Yeah.
Which is
yeah.
beyond my mind.
But I think the problem with the vacations actually started with the pandemic, because people thought that you could carry it, or you could
yeah, this is why we have quarantines, this is why we have vaccines, this is why we have
but
distance.
in the beginning there weren't any vaccines, and
well, then we had quarantines. You wanted to go to on a vacation, you had to, like, from, let's say you travel to a different country, go from the airport to a hotel, stay there for a certain amount of time,
yeah,
and then do a test, see if you're okay. If you're okay, you go on your vacation. But when the world stopped, nobody could go anywhere. they had no means to anyway. They stopped all the planes and everything, and then I don't think that I've seen an apology about going on a vacation during the pandemic.
Yeah, me too. There was this situation, I think, last year when we had the big quarantine, the big lockdown, yeah. And I don't remember who it was, but there were influencers that went on a vacation, and when their followers were very angered about that, they didn't apologize. They spin the narrative as it was they had to. They just had to because they were working so hard and everything, and they didn't have a vacation, and so they decided that it was necessary right then to go on a vacation.
At that moment, it was not necessary. At that moment, they did have to apologize because they shouldn't have spent it that way. I mean, you can take time off, you can relax. During the huge lockdown and all the governments trying to prevent the situation from getting bigger, which actually happened, at that moment a lot of people thought that this was their moment to have vacation, to have this, to have that, which was not. And personally, I blame those kinds of people for the situation that we were a whole year, because for almost a whole year the world stopped. A lot of people lost their jobs, a lot of people lost their homes, a lot of people lost their families, their relatives, and because of people like these that just decide that, okay, I don't like I don't care that this situation is happening, I want a vacation, and they go on a vacation at the most critical moment. And this is plainly said wrong.
Yeah.
And this is one of the regular situations that you do have to apologize, not spin it in your own view, because it's against it was against the rules.
Yeah.
Second, it was showing other people that you don't care about the situation, and you have to lead by example. And if this is the example that you're giving to the other people,
Yes, exactly. And I remember that it was, for me at least, it was kind of funny because before everything happened with the virus, it was like an escape to see the vacations that people went on. Even if you didn't have the ability to do the same, but it was like you were seeing cool pictures and everything on Instagram, and when the pandemic hit, it was kind of if you see a picture like that of an influencer on a vacation, and it was like a really bad thing, and it was kind of funny for me.
I mean, it's, yeah, you can look at it from both perspectives, but it's not just funny, it's disrespectful, and it's not the way you would like to treat the people that follow you.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, don't get me wrong, if you have a house on the beach and you have to quarantine and there's no one there, sure, why not? Then you don't have anything to apologize for. But then if you purposely go on a vacation because it was just the time, nah, that's a big no-no.
Yes.
Whatever apology those people, if they ever had issued such apology, this is something I 100% cannot believe. And see, this is where it comes from, because these are my beliefs, like the viewer, me as the viewer, these are my own personal beliefs, and if the actions of the person don't relate to my beliefs, I'm inclined not to believe the apology if it ever
Yes,
was.
yes. But even still, let's say we are viewers, and personally both of us, we're from another country, and so there's literally like a 0% chance to meet the person that you follow and that you look up to. And so
nowadays you don't know.
well, yeah, but I mean, come on.
Yeah.
You get it. And so do you have to believe the apology? I mean, the only thing that will happen is basically, let's say, you will stop following the person, but still, and that's why I mean that you're not going to make that big of a difference whether you believe the apology or not.
This is why it depends on you personally whether you want to believe that person or not, and most of the times it's not whether you want to believe it, it's whether your values are the same as the person who's making the apology.
Yeah.
And I don't know how you can always verify even if it's an honest apology or if it's not. It will always be honest for some people, and for some it won't be, just because it won't go with their beliefs, with their values, and it won't go with their own perspective of how an apology should look like.
Yeah. Well, I agree with you.
Nah, you cannot say otherwise.
Well, I could say, but not in this situation. Yeah.
Yeah. So you wanna go to our main situation? Which was what made us talk about this video. I mean, the criminal part.
Oh, okay.
But no, for me it's not that criminal.
Well, it's criminal by the law.
True, okay, by the law, yes, but by the logic behind it.
Yes, the logic behind it, even for me, it's not that big of a situation, but because the person is a very, very big influencer, and because it is against the law. And so a lot of people...
Well, technically, yes, it is against the law, but just because a person is really famous with a lot of following and a lot of people watching up to him, and he just did it once.
Yeah.
He was
well, it wasn't once, but...
Well, he didn't do such a bad thing. Like, not such a bad thing. He was held accountable. He apologized, not just apologized, he took a note, and I am sure that this person will not repeat his actions again.
Could be.
It could be debatable, yes, I agree. But then there are some people that are not famous, that are nobody, and they don't just write with someone. They do take it to the other level, which is the bigger criminal part.
Yeah.
And they're never held accountable.
Well, yeah, but
if you don't...
I agree with you. I agree with your point of view. My point of view is basically the same, but if we look from the other perspective, it's those situations aren't known, and this is a situation that became known because the person was so influential and had a big following.
We do.
So
come on, nowadays, because there's almost to no way to hide something, because nowadays almost everything is transparent. There are people that know who does this particular thing and who doesn't. And you do know, but just because this person is not famous, you don't hold them accountable.
Well, yeah,
unless the victim says something to someone and so on and so forth.
yes,
But in this
exactly.
case, there was basically, yeah, okay, you think you call it kind of a victim, I'm assuming. It was not this person, this particular person from both sides that opened their mouth. It was a third person.
Yes, but in this situation comes the other question. Because there would be people that are going to fabricate this situation just so they can gain some of the following of the person and just so they can bring that person down. But then how do you differ the real victim the real victim from the fake one? And this is something that the influencer did, because he actually deleted the video in which he takes accountability for the situation, and in the next video he basically took everything back that he said in the first video, and he tried to spin it as though nothing like that ever happened. And the way he he worded his sentences, it basically became that he spoke only of the situations that were fake and that were fabricated and that were photoshopped. And then if you are someone who is not that informed on the whole situation, and let's say you see only that video of his, and then you're going to start thinking that all of the situations are fake and that there aren't any victims.
Come on, it's logical for this video to come out. It is logical that there is some truth in it. So then he might be talking about the fake ones, but then there is the fake ones are created because of maybe it's just one, maybe it's two real ones. Yeah. Okay, yes, let's not forget one thing, that when a person does a video which he's holding himself accountable, 99% of the situations is just because he is being pushed. He or she, doesn't matter, this person is being pushed by managers, by followers, by friends, by family. Basically, as I said, 99% of the time, taking accountability videos made like a day or two after the accusations, most of them are done just like they were done because this person is being pushed to do it.
Yeah.
And then an apology, it actually takes time to reflect on your actions, time to be a genuine apology. I mean, it takes you to look at the situation not just from your perspective, not just from the perspective of the so-called victim,
yeah,
but also of the perspective of a third person, to look into the situation with brand new eyes and to distance yourself. And him talking about only the fake things, it's mostly my belief, my personal belief, is that it's mostly because this is what hurt him the most. People trying to spin the situation and to make themselves look like. Of
course, it's going to hurt you if someone is trying to fake it and gain something from that. But
to gain something from someone's pain, it's
Yes,
not just
yes.
egoistical, is plain inhumane.
Yes, but the problem that most people had with that video is exactly that I mean, personally, I understand it, and I don't know what I would have done if I was in that situation. First of all, I wouldn't get in that situation. I wouldn't be in it, but
You never know. You never know. You might have been.
I mean, I have some boundaries.
I do get it. I mean, but you nowadays you might not even know.
Yes.
Honestly speaking,
Yes.
if you can talk to me, I can say that sure I'm like younger than I actually look, but then I turn out to be sorry. What I meant to say is that I might look older than I actually look,
Yeah.
but
then
then
you turn
I
out to
turn
be-
out to be younger. You can never be 100% sure.
And that's why people say that that you have to ask for the.
But that's plainly stupid. Why do you have to ask for a verification? I mean, this is
Well, because
against-
when you ask the person how old he is, he can say a different age, and then it could turn out to be.
But what gives you the right to ask someone for a verification when you're not even like
You're not close with him.
it's not just that you're not close, it doesn't get into your jurisdiction. You're not law bound to ask someone for their verification, identification, or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not just that you're not law bound, the other person can always decline to do that.
Yes. And
Because simply it's
in-
because it's in their rights.
yes, but in that situation, if the person declines, well, then you stop talking to him. Or
That's one perspective.
well, yeah, but I don't know. I mean, for me personally, the situation is really, really stupid, and the law is there because there have been in the past situations in which without it there wouldn't be justice.
Yeah.
But in this situation, for me personally, it's just that I don't know. It can be a situation that could be avoided, but
As I said, this person did this. He might have deleted his video of taking accountability, but I do believe that this person is genuine, and I do know, like I believe it in my heart, that this person will not repeat the same mistake.
well, let's hope so.
As for the hate, as for the fakeness, as for everything else, there's always going to be someone that will hate.
Well, yeah, and
Let's not
this,
forget that one person has, most of the time, one person has two accounts, one for hate, one for good, which is another story.
Yeah. I mean,
And still, there are always going to be people that will hate on a situation. There are always going to be people that are going to be against a word, the words that you're saying. There's always going to be people that are going to support you, whether you are actually genuine and you are actually believable. In this particular situation, I do believe that only time will tell,
yeah.
because only time will show if this person is going to repeat their mistake. After all, there is this Arabic saying that if you do something once, you might not do it again. So maybe he might have learned not to repeat it again, but then there is the second part. If you do it twice, then you're going to do it third, fourth, and so on and so forth.
Yes.
And yeah, basically that's my opinion on the situation. I don't know about you.
Well, I don't know.
You want to believe, but you're not very sure.
Yes, I want to believe, but I'm not that sure because the way the situation happened, it looks like it looked like he had been doing that for a long time.
And let's
The
face
person.
I know I get it, but let's face it that this person is still young.
Yes, and that's the other perspective, is that this person is young, and he now is the time for him to make mistakes and
To learn from them.
And let's be honest, if he wasn't as famous as he is,
Nothing would have happened.
nothing would have happened.
Nothing would have been extended up to this point.
Yes,
nothing would have been
if
said.
that situation happened again, but still, I mean, in the world that we are living in, and with everything, situations like that are somewhat
Yeah, they're
unavoidable,
unavoidable, yeah.
and for the situation to be
Escalated this much.
to have escalated this much, personally, for me, it's just a stupid situation.
Plainly said, kind of. I
Yeah,
guess.
it is against the law,
Yes.
but it is a stupid situation, and from my understanding, nothing really bad happened.
That was my point in the beginning. I mean, I was just talking.
Yeah,
They didn't do anything like, not just physical, but emotional scarring wise.
I don't think nothing like that happened.
I was just writing. So it shouldn't have been taken as such huge thing, when, as I mentioned, there is most likely a person that does take it to the next level, and they're never judged
Yeah,
just
and
because they're not famous.
for me personally, I think that it goes against the law if you're using that conversation for, let's say, blackmail or something like that.
Yeah.
And the fact is that when in most situations, when he found out that the person is younger than he was, he just stopped the conversation.
So basically, he did
So-
what he had to, what it was right to do. But
Yeah,
then
and-
people spun it out.
And basically, the other person, I think that when they posted the conversation on social media, I don't think they did it because they felt that they were being wronged or something.
No, they did just to show like it's like a pride that they were able to speak with this person because they idolized this person.
Yeah, and then I don't know.
Let's not start over.
That situation is very complicated because there really could be victims, let's say. There really could be, and I personally don't want to take away from their story. But it's just that I really don't feel that anything bad happened. I don't really know. I can't make an opinion on that influencer situation because there are multiple sides there. It's not just his side and the victim. It's multiple sides, and there are points at which I can sympathize with the influencer. There are points in which I can sympathize with the victim, let's say. And it's just, the situation is not just black and white.
Nothing is just black and white.
Yes, and that's why I don't think that the influencer is entirely in the right.
Or entirely in the
Or
wrong.
entirely in the wrong, yeah. And
This is why I said that he did take accountability maybe not public accountability, but he did take it on his own. He did make an apology.
Kind of. He addressed the situation.
Okay,
It wasn't an apology, let's say.
Okay, he addressed the situation, and let's give this particular person, some time to actually see, because he is going to be looked upon from very close from now on, as he always has been. But let's see if this person has actually learned from his mistakes, and if he's going to repeat them.
Yeah.
That's my only opinion. Yes, he did something that wasn't 100% okay, but he's still young, he's still learning. After all, even when we are older, we always learn from our mistakes.
Yeah, and
so
here comes the other question: is when you're not influential, when somebody wrongs you, you decide whether you accept the apology or you don't accept it. And if you accept the apology, you give time so that you can see whether the situation is going to repeat itself.
Exactly.
And the thing that happens is that you lose trust in the person, and in time that trust is being rebuilt.
Yeah, exactly. This is why.
But there are people that decide not to accept the apology and just
plainly hate on this person.
Well, even then you have to pass. It's whether you hate the person or you just or you just don't hate him, but you don't want to see him again.
Well, then just ignore this person, basically.
Yeah.
So there are always going to be those people that will believe and trust and give a second chance. Then there's always going to be these people that are just going to dismiss everything.
Yeah.
And not believe in anything. Don't trust in this person ever again. Never even giving him the chance to see if that person is going to change or not. You can never change someone, no matter how much you talk to this person, unless this person wants to listen.
Yes.
And to see. And to, yeah. So how can you believe or cannot believe an apology? It depends on the situation.
Yes.
It depends on your perspective. It depends on
your values.
Yes, it depends also on
the other person, the other perspective, the other values,
yes,
whether they align or not. So yeah, basically we are every day we are making decisions which always lead up to
different
paths, and it's up to us to
believe or
decide which path we're going to take.
Exactly.
And I guess that
wraps it up.
That wraps it up, yes.
Well,
and
you can always feel free to tell us what you think, if you're familiar with the situation that we're talking about, if you have figured it out.
Yeah.
Whether you would believe this person or you would not, what will make you believe in an apology, no matter if it's this situation or something else.
Yes.
Feel free to share it.
Yes, share it in the comments down below. Our social media will be linked in the description.
Or in the channel. It's like a little circle. It says gobble bubble.
Yeah, and
we'll see you babblers next time.
Bye.
Bye.